2-0 home defeat, and again, probably that first half that's cost us.
Yep, definitely. Strong wind out there, and we had to dig in a little bit more in the first half. I think we couldn't get out of our half with the constant set pieces coming in, constant first balls and second balls lost, and we just couldn't get a foothold in the game. It was 40 minutes before we started winning them second balls, and we had the last 5 minutes of the first half, and that was it. Yeah. Just for the simple facts, we won a second ball. There was balls bouncing around, which I think we just got to have more confidence with in terms of getting the ball down and actually playing. There was a lot of things hooked on which were blowing up in the air and coming back.
Especially in those conditions, haven't you? You've got to get the ball down. Do you think it was a bit of a lack of confidence because we were knocking it forward and it was just coming back then?
Yeah, well, I spoke there, but there shouldn't be a lack of confidence. I know home form's not been great, but we've won 2 of the last 4 before today. We're in a healthy position in the league, and it's just having just get it down and play. Enough people wanting the ball, and today, first half, it was like, let's get rid of it as quick as we can and hopefully it won't come back. Football doesn't work like that. There was no precision with the passing, and again, we've got to start 44 minutes before we make a forward pass from midfield, and again, that gets us the best chance of the first half. But it's bravery. Biggest one's bravery. First and second balls in the first half, and then the ability to actually control it and pass it to one of our teammates when the opportunity's there. We didn't have enough of it.
Does it shock you in a way, because you've got a better squad now on paper than you did at the start of the season? Does it shock that maybe somebody doesn't take it by the scruff of the neck when that's happening?
Yeah, well, we said we've definitely got a better first 11, and what's coming on the bench is better than what we had. And there was easy excuses earlier in the season when the performance wasn't there. It was like, right, well, we need better in this position, we need better in this position. We actually believe in that squad that we've got now, that it should be a top 10 side, and today, first half especially, didn't look like a top 10 side. It looked like a side with no identity, and that's my responsibility. The biggest thing with the lads was, right, you've either got to be brave in terms of winning the physical battle in the first half, or brave enough to get it down and play. We can't be just stuck in between, and we were in that first half. Second half, we come out the blocks again. Had a great chance with Pratty, which I think everyone thought was going to cross the line. And then the chances they had were always going to be counter-attacking opportunities, which is created through a 1-0 lead that they got from the first half. Thought they played the conditions well in first half, and we didn't.
Yeah. Chris Sharp went off injured early on. What was that? We saw him go down early on. Was it a recurrence of something after that when he went down?
Yeah, it's from the same incident. He's gone down at an awkward angle, and the lads landed on top of him, so just a few problems with his neck and back, and he's gone for the first header after that, but he couldn't carry on, which is understandable. Dan Turner's come on, but then we were brave with the subs after 60 minutes. Dan Turner needed to come off as well with 15 to go because he's got heavy knocks on his ankle and knee, so we were effectively playing with 10 men the last 15, and we didn't create a lot in that last 15, did we? And that was part of the reason. Did
he get the knock through the keeper cleaning him out, which he got penalised for? I mean, what was your view of that?
There was a few strange decisions. One, he was quite consistent with his bad decisions, but I don't know how do you give that? It's a 50-50 ball. It's either not a free kick either way, or it's a free kick to us.
Yeah.
There was a few strange ones like that. Even the 2 towards the end, possible red cards, but listen, I'm not going to go on about the ref.
No.
First and foremost, that's down to us in the first half today, and I feel like I'm a broken record saying that again, and it comes down to bravery.
On to Nantwich next week, obviously going away from home, maybe can be a bit more relaxing because you know you can maybe sit in and let Nantwich pass the ball about. Is there any way, could you change your formation slightly today, didn't you, to bring Ash Young in?
Yeah, we were conceding goals when the ball was coming through the middle of the pitch in previous games, so thought Ash was magnificent second half. He got us playing, he won a lot of them first balls and second balls, so yeah, we did tighten up a little bit in there. I'll have a look at that next week. We're having good success away from home against the top teams, so hopefully we can go there and pick something up, but I want to transfer it here. I'm sick of coming up here and saying the first half wasn't good enough and it's costing us games. So I want to have to look at it closely, because today I just didn't feel like there was enough brave players on the pitch in terms of the non-league side of it, first and second balls, and then actually getting it down and playing. Kyle and Brad were guilty of giving the ball away quite a lot today in the spaces that they had, but I said to them in there, I'd like to see what they had in front of them, the actual options that they had in front of him. Listen, again, you can't knock the work rate of the lads and the actual graft that they put in, and that's the same story all the time, but it was them extra yards today in terms of the ugly side of the game, and we lacked it and they didn't.
Yeah, we spoke to Pratt, and like I said, the effort's kind of a given, but it's just being clever, I suppose. When you get into the area, it was knocked in the 6-yard box, and their defence seemed to be there first.
Well, that's the strength of theirs. They've got a back three that will defend the box and a midfield three that will as well. So we had to move them in wide areas. I thought we were getting good joy in the wide areas, but then the final ball wasn't there. And with 20 to go, I was confident we'd score. I was really confident we'd score because we discussed about putting an extra man up front. But I thought we were getting into good areas of the pitch with just that end product wasn't really there. But listen, we'll go again. We hate losing games of football, but there's another chance to rectify it next week. But we've got to start picking up these 3 points quicker than we are at home. I want to win games at home, but let's back on the road next week. Let's see how it goes. Yeah,
silver linings, we're still in 9th place. I mean, last year we were kind of flipping between 9th and 10th, and the season fizzled out a little bit. I suppose you don't want to repeat it that way. You're winning one, losing one, and just kind of being around that area for the rest of the season.
No, we don't. Nothing's changed. First target is to get 46 points, and then once we get there, can we kick on from it? We're still in 2 cup competitions, which we're going to take very seriously this season. So it could pan out to be a successful season if we can finish in that top 10 and pick up one of the cups or have a good run in one of the cups. It's not all doom and gloom. If you'd have offered me this at the beginning of the season, I'd have taken it. But it's always the same. You lose a game of football and people can get a bit down about things. But it's up to me to pick the players up again this week. And I'll highlight again that first half. It's not been good enough, and it's getting to be a bit annoying, to be honest, coming up here saying the same thing. So I'll have to look at personnel involved in what keeps happening and maybe make some changes.
I was going to say, how do you change that, to try and get them come out playing with a tempo? Is there a way you can change the players? Is it a mindset thing, or?
Today I think it was more to do with the mentality and then ability. It was the mentality of, right, let's dig in, let's put the ball into good areas when we need to, let's win the first and second balls. So that's definitely a mentality. And then the ability to actually do that. So when the ball came down, there was too many clearances that went up in the air and back onto our back four, or clearances that went straight to their midfield rather than getting them turned in behind. So a mentality and the ability to do it. Like I said, we believe in this group of players, but there's only so long you can keep losing games of football at home before you've got to look at something. But again, we go again next week. I still believe in this group, and I think we can push for that top 10, but we need to turn it around quickly.
Brill. Thanks for joining us. Cheers to you, Hyde.